What's going on, YouTube? I am Germ here. Today on this channel, we're going to be trying something a little bit different. We're going to be talking about some esports drama, some roster changes, but ultimately we can always tie this back into the investing world and how this could potentially be affecting some teams and stickers, even some stickers as recently as the Paris Major Collection. But very, very recently, we heard some news that one of the kind of bigger players in the world, more interesting, more popular players in the world, Cadian, was going to be leaving Heroic and coming to Team Liquid. Now, obviously, this is a very, very big deal because Heroic has been one of the better teams in the world. You know, they've been constantly at the top of a lot of these tournaments. Obviously, they haven't been able to get it done and win the big one in like a major or anything like that just yet, but they've been in a lot of big spots. They've been making deep runs. I believe they got top 4 at Paris, and Cadian was a big part of that. Obviously, it's like an IGL, an AWPR, and a lot of good things, and hey, I'm American. I like NA. I want to see NACS revived and doing well again, and having Cadian come over to Team Liquid is pretty cool, and you know, something I'm excited about. And I think he's going to hopefully do very, very well. But it was obviously going to be a big hit to Heroic as well. And how was Heroic going to replace Cadian? What was going to be going on? All of that stuff. These were a ton of questions, and ultimately, that was going to be affecting the Heroic team stickers as well because, you know, depending on how good or bad Heroic is going to be, if Heroic's going to make it to future majors, if they're going to have more major stickers, that could make the older Heroic stickers either more or less valuable or, you know, more or less highly sought after. So it's all going to be very, very interesting. But then today we got some very interesting new news regarding Heroic here. You know, it's kind of just the talk of the esports and CS2 world right now, where they tweeted out this, which is so crazy, so dramatic, so many twists and turns, but they tweeted out this. They said, CS2 roster update. Heroic is sad to announce that Staven, I don't know exactly how you say everyone's names again. I haven't been watching competitive CS for that long, so this is all still pretty new to me, but I'm trying to learn. Staven, whatever, and Jabby are temporarily removed from the starting lineup. So what the heck is going on with Heroic? They're losing, you know, 3 of their 5 players now at this point, with Cadian gone, Staven gone, and Jabby gone as well. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Again, this was one of the better teams in the world, one of the higher ranked teams in the world, expected to be a top team headed into the CS2 era as well, even though we don't know much about what's going on just yet. But after Pro League, these two initiated a push to replace Cadian. So obviously some things going on the inside of the team. You know, you can start to see and realize how, hey, this is part of probably what played into the ultimate replacing of Cadian, because Cadian was obviously a great player, a great IGL. He had Heroic constantly as a top team. It seems like obviously not everything was great behind the scenes, and some of the players were pushing for a change. But whatever. They were initiating a push to replace Cadian, which came unexpectedly to both Cadian and Heroic's management team. So Heroic's management team, you know, they weren't necessarily expecting or wanting to replace Cadian, but when some of the team players come to them and are wanting for a change, it obviously puts management in a weird spot where they maybe have to start making some decisions, because if people don't want to play together, what are you going to do? Obviously, you know, you can't force people at the end of the day. Mediation efforts were attempted, but the situation was brought to an ultimatum where Heroic had to choose between Cadian and the rest of the team, which obviously sounds pretty nasty. Staven and Jabby agreed that if Heroic let Cadian go, they would extend their contracts. With clear intentions from Staven and Jabby to extend, Heroic amicably allowed Cadian to pursue a new path. Obviously, this is what ultimately leads up to him, at least reportedly, you know, going to Team Liquid, going to North America at this point. I don't know if anything's final or completely done or anything like that just yet, but that same day, Staven and Jabby were presented with their new contracts they'd communicated having made future plans with Astralis. Their Heroic contracts had almost 10 months until expiration. While handling the short-term uncertainty and planning for a long-term solution, Heroic's ambition to bring Staven and Jabby back ambition is to bring Staven and Jabby back. Our performance staff have made a plan to support their potential return to the starting lineup. We are open to discussing transfers to organizations with a professional approach and an understanding of our players' market value. We aim to find a good path forward for a positive solution for everyone involved. So this is absolutely insane, and the comments are going crazy. You know, Heroic's getting roasted right now. People were already, saying Heroic's pretty dumb for letting Cadian go in the first place, because yes, Heroic has had some issues. They've choked. They've, lost some big matches. They've gotten upset a couple times in spots where they were, the better team, the more talented team. They should have won. They're kind of known as like the chokers of the at least the back half of the CSGO era, and who knows what's going to happen into CS2, but they were consistently a good team. It wasn't like they necessarily needed to probably make big changes. They were probably very, very close to winning something big very soon. So people were like, yeah, why are you making such a big change? Why are you getting rid of Cadian? Cadian's a great player. He's a great IGL. He's a great offer. What the heck is going on? But now the comments are rolling them like, oh, you tried to snake Cadian and then you end up getting snaked by your own players. Obviously, there's like a rivalry and some weirdness obviously going on here between Heroic and Astralis. But now Heroic is in a very, very weird spot. If they let Cadian walk, and obviously Staven and Jabby are also looking to potentially walk, they could at the end of the day end up with no players. Now, is there some world, obviously they're saying they're trying to bring Staven and Jabby back, they're trying to work things out, they're trying to make it work, but it obviously seems like they at least have some intentions of leaving or going to Astralis or whatever. Also, obviously there's some weird poaching and stuff potentially going on from Astralis here too, where they're signing players to deals when they still have 10 months left on their Astralis contract or on their Heroic contracts. Now obviously oftentimes players will, kind of figure out where they're going next and figure out their future plans and all that stuff. But, there's still so much time left on those contracts. And if Heroic didn't even know what was going on or never gave approval to it, that's this whole other weird thing. Esports is weird. There's always a lot of shady, just very, very strange stuff going on. But I don't know. Is there some world where Heroic loses Staven and Jabby and tries to bring Cadian back? Is there some way that maybe he doesn't end up at Liquid? Does Heroic just figure this all out and they bring Staven and Jabby back? Or do Staven and Jabby even want to be there? Are things now going to be weird inside the team between those players and the management? Is it better if they just let everyone go and try and start over and rebuild? Is Heroic potentially going to end up with no one? Are they going to have no players from this team that was so strong at the end of the CSGO era? I have no idea, but this all gets very, very crazy. It's a huge story. It's kind of funny, kind of crazy, kind of weird, something that I definitely just wanted to talk about. But of course, also at the end of the day, this does relate to some of these stickers, like the Heroic Paris sticker, which obviously I am invested in. I have a decent amount of these Heroic Paris stickers. I think it's a great sticker. I think Heroic has obviously been a popular team, a good team. I think it's a good looking sticker. It's unique to the Paris collection. And I don't know if Heroic does kind of go up in flames and Heroic potentially now, depending on who they even have on their team, it's potential that they have to make a huge lineup changes and end up in a very, very bad spot where I think the organization already isn't in great financial straits. And then now they might lose 3 of their, starting players from the end of the CSGO era. It's possible that they don't make the Copenhagen Major, and if there is no Heroic sticker in the next Copenhagen collection, that could be very, very good for the Paris, Antwerp, and Stockholm Heroic stickers, which have all already done quite well. I don't know. This all starts to get very, very crazy. This is definitely something I'm going to want to keep an eye on. But again, this is something everyone's talking about right now. The top comment here, no money. IGL kicked for no reason. 2-star players leaving to join the ops. Been praying for this. Kerrigan says, rip Bozo. And then Heroic replies, with some memes and stuff, which is funny. But yeah, I don't know. Very, very crazy esports drama going on right now. Some of it does affect the investing world. It kind of makes me feel even better about owning Heroic stickers because I think they could definitely see a price increase if this turmoil continues. I have no idea what Heroic's going to do from here. I don't know what's going to happen to Cadian, Staven, Jabby, any of these guys, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on as an esports fan and as an investor. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully I catch you in the next one. But until then, peace.